Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into something we all kind of know, right? Something huge, definitely there, but somehow we all manage to ignore it.
That thing, yes. The massive topic we all just sort of skirt around.
Exactly. Those awkward truths hiding right there in front of us. The ones we, collectively agreed to just pretend aren't happening.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Everyone knows it's there. Everyone feels it. But nobody wants to be the one to say it out loud.
Right. We're talking about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And let's face it, it's not just in the room.
Oh, no.
It's sprawled out, taking up the whole damn couch, probably drinking your beer.
Yeah.
Definitely watching you squirm.
That's a perfect picture of it. Collective denial at its finest.
So yeah, our mission today is basically to unpack this whole idea, this idiom. Where'd it come from? Why does it stick around?
Yeah.
And maybe the most interesting part, how sometimes silence, strategic silence, can end up saying way more than actual words.
And what's really interesting, is that the idea itself feels ancient, right? Ignoring the obvious problem.
Totally. Seems like human nature 101.
But the phrase, the elephant in the room, is actually pretty recent, like 1950s recent.
No way, the 50s, seriously?
Yeah, first recorded uses pop up around then.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
That's surprising. Because it feels so, I don't know, fundamental.
It does. The concept is timeless, absolutely. This massive, unignorable thing
Yeah.
that becomes almost absurd because nobody mentions it. The phrase just nails that visual.
That visual is key, isn't it? The sheer ridiculousness of it.
Exactly. Just imagine walking in and there's this, 12-foot elephant just standing there, breathing. Probably smells a bit elephant-y.
Right. Obvious.
And everyone's just meticulously discussing, I don't know, the weather forecast. Or sports. Anything but the elephant.
It's not just avoidance then. It's like peak pretending. A caricature of it. Okay, so if it's that obvious, why? Why do we do it? What makes us all clam up when faced with these giant metaphorical elephants? Is it always about conflict? Or is it something else?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
usually not just, laziness or forgetting.
Yeah.
It's often a very deliberate strategy, conscious avoidance.
A strategy. How so?
Think of it like emotional risk management. You're constantly weighing things up.
Yeah.
Weighing the awkwardness, the potential fallout of saying the thing
Yeah.
versus the perceived safety of just staying quiet.
Perceived safety.
And the fears driving that calculation can be really complex. Fear of conflict, obviously, that's a big one.
Sure.
But also fear of offending someone, fear of being the troublemaker, the one who rocks the boat.
Yeah, nobody wants to be that person.
Exactly, or fear of disrupting the status quo, even if it's uncomfortable. And maybe even deeper, this fear that if you name it, if you actually say the words, then it becomes real. Permanent, maybe even worse than just leaving it unsaid.
That makes a lot of sense. We're trying to manage the potential damage, running these little cost-benefit analyses in our heads.
Constantly.
But what happens when that risk management, when it doesn't work? Or maybe when it works for too long? Does the pressure just build and build until pop?
Well, yes, the pressure definitely builds. Silence rarely makes the elephant disappear.
Right.
It doesn't just evaporate. It kind of solidifies. It changes shape. It gets heavier.
Heavier. How do you mean?
Think of like a pressure cooker.
What?
You keep the lid on tight, hoping it contains everything.
Okay.
But inside, the heat, the steam, it just keeps increasing. That pressure over time starts to develop these really sharp edges.
Ooh, okay.
What started as maybe simple avoidance turns into real tension, like palpable tension you could cut with a knife.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And that tension, it can fester. It can easily curdle into resentment, sometimes really deep-seated stuff. And eventually, it just drives wedges between people, creates this huge distance emotionally or professionally. Suddenly, every little interaction feels loaded, Even just asking about the weekend feels weird.
So it's not always this big dramatic explosion like the elephant suddenly charging.
Sometimes it is, but not always.
It can also be this slow, quiet, almost corrosive thing, eating away at relationships or making a team totally ineffective.
Exactly. A slow decay of trust, of connection. That's a really powerful consequence, and one we maybe don't talk about enough when we talk about avoiding the elephant.
It really is. So wrapping things up a bit,
Right.
this elephant in the room, it's an idiom, from the 1950s.
Relatively new, yeah.
But it captures something ancient about us, this tendency we have for collective denial.
A very human thing. And that avoidance, it's not passive, it's active, it's strategic.
Right, that emotional risk management idea. driven by fear.
All sorts of fear. Conflict, offending people, making things worse, making things permanent.
And the result of letting that silence just sit there, it's rarely good in the long run.
Almost never. It builds that pressure, breeds the tension, the resentment, the distance.
Until the elephant kind of stops sitting quietly on the couch.
Exactly. Eventually, one way or another, it demands attention. It charges.
It's a powerful image. Definitely something to think about.
It really is something for, all of us to consider in our own lives.
So, as you're reflecting on this deep dive, maybe ask yourself, are there any elephants lurking around in your world? Maybe in your relationships, at work, maybe even just inside your own head.
Good question.
What's the real cost, the unspoken cost of just letting that silence continue day after day, week after week? What's the price of keeping that elephant on the couch?